And happening now, the Volunteers of America are hosting their hydration drive this month. Now through April 30th, donations can be dropped off to their Cenla offices. Donations can be water, Gatorade, Powerade, hydration packets, and cooling towels for those experiencing homelessness in our community. The VOA wants to be able to supply those needed resources to families who need them most. Their regional director says when families are equipped with essential hydration items, they are better positioned to thrive in communities to become healthier. They aim to serve everyone anytime there is a need.
So last year, if you remember how hot it was with temperatures way above what we normally have in Louisiana, the chance of dehydration and overheating and heat exhaustion is really high. With those of our neighbors in central Louisiana who are experiencing homelessness, they are at a higher risk of dehydration and illnesses associated with dehydration. So we want to do something to help circumvent that.
And you can drop off donations at the Volunteers of America office on Coliseum Boulevard in Alexandria.